What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hate to Pile On, your new favorite sports show on Twitch. My name is CJ alongside the number one chunky boy in the whole entire world. That's some pretty cool swag that you got over there.
You like it?
I do like that swag that you got. That's interesting.
It's the newest line in Hate to Pile On apparel.
Oh, okay. Hate to pile on with some apparel. That's interesting. I mean, can you buy it? Can you buy it right now?
I'm sure you could. If there might be a link after the show, maybe.
You can't buy it right now, but if you do, let us know. Let's get some interest, some peak. If you want to be a chunky boy, you want to join the chunky boy movement, let us know that you want these chunky boy shirts, and we can make it happen. You know, a chunky boy summer. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, move out the way, Chet Hanks. It ain't white boy summer. It's chunky boy summer.
It is chunky boy summer. So that's a little design that we got created. We might have a couple more stuff as well for you guys. So just let us know if you like it, if you fuck with it. Let us know, and then we'll drop a link. We'll drop a little link so you can go pick up that bad boy. But
yes,
your new favorite sports show on Twitch, you've reached the end zone with your boys, and I'm going to just go ahead and bring a very interesting topic to the table. We're not going to mess around today. We're going straight to the top, no stops, something like that, something that rhymes. Hit the video. And something that I want to bring to the table is a topic that I've been kind of hearing about, and I got some 2 cents about. Okay, so and tell me if this is an interesting topic for you, Jonathan, and we can discuss this. So I recently watched Last Chance U. Right, it's kind of gonna be a little bit of a story, but hang in there with me, and we'll get to the point of it.
The basketball version,
the Last Chance U hoops, and I love the Last Chance U series. I think they do a phenomenal job of telling stories about kids who've kind of had a tough upbringings, showing kids in situations that, they're really kind of made out to not succeed, not to, be successful. But then, you see these individuals who are trying so hard to help these guys out. They're really trying to see them become something because they have talent. They have something in them that they see in these individuals, but those individuals don't see it in themselves. And people might think football, basketball, sports are just stupid. And you should get these college athletes. And that's a whole debate. We could talk about that later in a different type of form. But I love Last Chance U because it just, these opportunities, it's just stories that you don't get to be told. And you get to hear these different situations that kids are being in, like being hungry, but like not missing meals, like living out of their cars, and a lot of other people do that. I'm not saying these guys are special, but they are trying to make something of themselves by using the medium of sports. I was going to say football and sports at the same time, of sports, football or basketball or baseball, which I think a Last Chance U baseball. I don't know if they got that for baseball, but that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting if they did that, but maybe not. I don't know. I love these guys kind of getting another chance at making it, and whether, because they were highly touted, recruited out of high school, but then just didn't have the grades, or, some situations happen, legal troubles, and, getting that second chance, right? And so one of my favorite leagues, and it's because, I could be biased or whatever, but I love the XFL, and I really hope that the XFL does well. And there's big talks about how, the NFL needs a developmental league. And I think I watched an interview about how it shouldn't happen because, it's just not good talent, right? Because, of course, people don't want to watch it, and because it's good talent. But I feel like the XFL or like a developmental league should kind of be like that Last Chance U, right? Like, it should be an opportunity. Like a lot of people should get second chances. Not everyone deserves a second chance, of course, but like I think because there's a lot of talented guys who don't make the NFL, and they gotta really like. I think they should really hone in onto that demographic and to give you some really good football. And plus, it's like guys who are really passionate to try to make it and they're hungry. So you should get a quality football product. But another thing I think will be really awesome is to do a Last Chance U documentary, but with the XFL, and have that released like during football season or end of the season or something like that, to where you can kind of follow along these guys and then you see if they got signed to like the NFL, which is like their goal. And so like you start them at like, whatever combines and training camps that they do in the XFL. And then you kind of build that to like this ultimate, like, oh, did they sign or did they come back to the XFL? Like, because I'm pretty sure the XFL wants to be that developmental league. But it just depends. Like, it depends if the XFL thinks they're going to try to be like their own league, their own entity where people make it and make their big break here, or they're going to be conscious enough of knowing that, look, the XFL is not going to be the end all be all. Like, the goal is to get these guys to the NFL and to make them big money, but they can also make us money here. What do you think, Jonathan?
Well, I think that's the thing about the XFL is it can be both. Like, obviously, it's going to be a stepping stone for some guys because some guys just want to get to the NFL. But some guys only want to get to the NFL to make money. And if you can be a star in the XFL and make more money than a practice squad or non-active player on game day type check, then some people are going to take that XFL check. They know they're going to be making more money. And that will obviously be better for the quality of the XFL.
For sure.
But it can also be a good stepping stone for those guys who do want to make it to the NFL because that's their goal, is to make it to the highest level. So I think it could be both, depending on what the players want, specific players.
Do you think that the XFL can be successful, and you think it's a waste of time?
I definitely think it can be successful. I mean, it was successful last year. Really, COVID was the thing that stopped it.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Some people kind of feel like, oh, it just flopped again. And I think that's the thing some people kind of trying to push as the narrative. But that's not the narrative at all for the XFL. The XFL, I think, did pretty good in numbers and ratings. They signed good deals with ESPN and ABC and Fox, I want to say.
Sounds right.
And so, which is pivotal because you need to get first of all, you need to get that exposure so people know. And I'm pretty sure they did like at least over 1 million viewers per show, which is 1 million people checking your product out, which is good. And so, which I think was already a big boost over
the AFL,
the AAF, or whatever the heck it was the year before.
Yeah, AAF. I think it was Alliance of American Football.
Yeah. So definitely a TV contract is pivotal for the success of it. So that way you can, because if you can sign a TV deal, that's money and revenue coming in to be able to boost the player salaries, to be competitive, to get some guys who are, borderline, like they're practice squad guys for sure, but borderline active player, which you talked about. Like, because if you can get those guys to flip, kind of like how it was in the old days, like, because people kind of forget the history, but Doug Flutie, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to definitely butcher the league that he joined. But like Doug Flutie, I want to say got signed they had a second league, the United, it was the UEFA league, I think, or not soccer. It was another league that came out.
NFL Europe?
No, it wasn't NFL Europe. It was, oh my gosh, because they were trying to compete with the NFL by signing some top college recruits out, but signing them to bigger contracts out of college. And then some big known players chose them over choosing the NFL. And I want to say it was like Doug Flutie, or it was another name. I think he may have been a Cowboys quarterback, maybe Roger Staubach, possibly. I could be dating myself.
Let's see. United States Football League, the
Yes.
USFL. 3 seasons, 1983 to 1985.
Okay, so that would. Yeah, yeah. Doug Flutie did play one season in the United States Football League.
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly, yeah.
Steve Young.
Yeah, that's the name I was thinking of, Steve Young. Because I knew it was a big name that they was able to sign.
Herschel Walker, too.
Herschel, yes, yes. See, that's what you. I mean, I don't know if the XFL should go in that route per se, but if you can flip a guy who has some issues in college who wants to go pro, kind of like how in NBA, well, from kids who are like instead of going to college to play a couple years to get that eligibility out of the way, guys are going to overseas to get paid and to develop their game at the same time. Like you can get some guys straight out of high school, possibly develop them for 3 years. That way, and you can retain players to get them some star value on a big scale, especially if they're like really good. You know, you can get that more exposure to them, and then you can. It can help if you do that documentary alongside the XFL.
I don't know about straight out of high school,
or maybe like community college guys.
I think they would need to have like a bumper league if they were going to do that. Where like how the NBA has the 1 year one and done rule.
Yeah.
I think like football, you certainly need at least a year before you make that jump. But also, I don't know how schools would handle players committing for 1 year, playing 1 year of college football, and then going to another league.
Which I think could play into the community college leagues. Last Chance U, right? So this is what you kind of brings in my point right back full circle, because I mean you can really like say you do get some of these guys who you want to see ball out, but then like, hey, instead of you having to still suffer through school for another couple of years, I know you're pretty talented, you're making some plays. Why don't you come play for us for a couple of years and see if you can make your name and possibly make your name in the XFL, but also get an opportunity to get to the NFL still, and you don't got to worry about school, and you get some money right now for your situation.
Yeah, the Panthers actually drafted a player who did that. Let's see.
Oh, from the XFL?
Yeah, from the XFL.
Oh, yeah, that safety, right? Who went to use like
Kenny
the
Robinson.
Battlehawks. Yeah.
I don't know how many years he played at West Virginia.
I want to say it was like 2, because he just needed 1 more year.
I think he was kicked off the team before either his 3rd year or before his 3rd year. Yeah, I think 2018. Yeah, kicked off the team before his 3rd college year. He was actually expelled from the school.
Oh, wow.
For academic fraud. It's not like he committed a crime. He just cheated, which is not really a big deal if you ask me. But
but no, I feel like guys that, you can really make a name for yourself, and you can, guys who are super talented. Like I don't know. I think it's such a good opportunity for the XFL if they really can poach those guys. The caveat is, and what a lot of things people are going to say is, why would you want those guys who either are rebounds from, like, who have all the potential in the world but fuck up and just couldn't get it right?
Well,
that's going to be a big.
Just be those guys,
right? Like, no, it wouldn't just be those guys, but I think like that could be like a driving force to kind of bring that intrigue into you. Like I think it's one of those things that can be like, oh, okay, like especially because like Last Chance U gets a lot of publicity and press, like, you know what I mean. And I think it's not gonna. And then I think they're working out to deal with the CFL too. So like if they can make a lot of situations to bring more good talent to your league, it's another avenue to really make XFL sustainable for the future. which I'm excited. I really think the XFL can do it. They got a good model. They already changing the game in the NFL with some of the things they're doing, especially with the replay. Oh my God, the replay process. Ooh, say that 3 times fast. And like they're really doing stuff for the game, and a lot of players are liking, especially with the kickoff when the guys are 10 yards apart and then they're kicking the ball off to make it safer, more efficient, faster games. They have a lot of good things going for them, but they just don't have that history. They don't have that longevity which makes people want to buy in, which I think is also a big caveat. Because if you're just going to be like, all right, this season's just going to be, we'll see if they make it through the full season. And I was very sure they was going to make it through last season, but no one could predict COVID to shut down everything. And maybe with The Rock, everything he touches turns to gold and sells out. I mean, and they were selling out arenas. I mean, St. Louis Battlehawks was selling out. Oh, for sure. He has more of the Midas touch than Drake. I think I could say that than Drake.
Drake?
So I don't know. That's just something I've been thinking about. Like, I'm really excited for the XFL. I'm a lifelong DC Defenders fan. Okay, and I want to see my team succeed. I hope Pep Hamilton comes back to coach. I think he's a phenomenal coach. He was a phenomenal. He's a phenomenal offensive coordinator, quarterback coach. I think give him an opportunity to be a head coach and GM. Who knows if he want to do that again now that he's making regular checks in the NFL? Who knows if he wants to take that leap again to be a head coach in the XFL? It depends if the money's right. We know Bob Stoops making $1 million.
Well, that's another thing is it wouldn't just be a last chance for the players. It would also be another chance for coaches, front office execs. Because, I mean, like, was it on here we talked about it? Or was it just a discussion you and I had off cam where we talked about GMs? And for a GM, it's hard to be a GM, mess up, get fired, and then become GM of another team. Like,
we was talking about it on the show. We had a big discussion.
It has happened, but it's not.
Well, the model that a lot of teams in the XFL has been having is the coach has been the GM and the head coach of the team in the XFL.
They kind of had to, though. Like, they couldn't afford.
It was also like I think it was a selling point for coaches because they can construct their team that they want. I think that's kind of how you got a little bit of the bigger names because you can actually get more control over the situation. Because I think that's how you get Bob Stoops. Like, you got to get that name value at head coach. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's how you get him in the first year. But then, like, if those coaches do well and they do go back to the NFL, then you can try to bring in and rehabilitate an NFL front office person and like a young up and coming coach.
Yeah.
Like, there are some college coaches who might want to try to make that jump.
Bill O'Brien. Perfect. I can run an offense.
I mean, that might be the route he has to go.
I mean,
I think he's at Bama, right?
Yeah, he's fine.
That's true. Bama does turn him out. I mean, Lane Kiffin, Sark.
Steve Sarkisian, Coach Loxley, I think. Lox. He's the coach at Maryland. They also had Brian Dabble,
yep, for the Bills.
Who's about to be a head coach next offseason.
Yeah, it probably could have been this year. Yeah. I think he just turned down jobs.
Which, I mean, you get another year to build that offense and kind of really finish. I don't want to say finish what you started, but, I mean, their team's close. That team's very close. But I don't know. I think it's awesome. I think the XFL has an awesome opportunity for coaches and players to really just be something. Because, like, I think that's what it is. I think you have to really lean into the stories. You have to lean, like, and you don't want to be the person. You don't want to be the league that's going to be focusing on Johnny Manziel or, like, you know, guys who are like a big name in college, like Tim Tebow. But
Cardale Jones,
Cardale Jones is a good story. I mean, like, he's not like that, like, party boy type thing. Like, you want a still good story, but, like, I want to see, honestly, like, I don't want to see Tyrod, but, like, I want to see, like, Tyrod Taylor. I want to see James Josh Rosen. I think right now, this is the thing, right? You know how all these quarterbacks we talked about recently, how they get screwed over about getting the starting position? The XFL could be a perfect opportunity to really like get tape out and to kind of hopefully rewrite the narrative. And I think Josh Rosen is that perfect candidate. Like Josh Rosen can be there. Dwayne Haskins could possibly be there.
Well, I mean, you want to talk about that? Let's talk about XFL MVP, PJ Walker, who went undefeated in games he started for the Panthers this year. He only started one, but he went undefeated. He won.
He won, but he also got opportunity, and you know what I mean, because of the XFL to sign with the NFL
and
team.
Because Teddy stinks.
Very true, but you got to also be opportunity meets preparedness. I don't know. There's some thing there. Talent. He has the talent for sure. You know what he can do, and then plus with the fact that he had that familiarity with
Matt Rule.
Matt Rule helped out as well because it's like, hey, I want to bring in my guy, but it's like, why are we going to bring in him like just because he went to Temple? But it's like, no, like he played XFL ball. He was the MVP. He was the top of the top there, and a lot of guys got some opportunities, and so that's what you really need. You just need opportunities. Like a lot of the guys just don't get that. And that's what I want to see, just opportunities. Because, like, I think Josh Rosen could be the XFL MVP if he's given the opportunity just to see what he can do. Because that's the thing, no one's seen what he can do as a starting quarterback. Like,
all right, let's talk about it. Because I am a Josh Rosen truther.
Bring it. Let's do it. Bring it to the table, my guy.
The Rosen one, Chosen Rosen, I think he just got done dirty. Like, he was put
1,000%.
The Cardinals with no chance of success.
Yeah, he's a top 10 pick. Let's state that. He was a top 10 pick, possibly talked as being one of the top quarterbacks of that draft, being the most pro-ready.
Correct. One of the reasons he fell is because he was too smart, and coaches didn't know how he would gel with them. Like they thought he would think he's too smart for them just because he was so intelligent. So he got a lot of Aaron Rodgers comparisons for that, which, I mean, I don't ever think getting compared to Aaron Rodgers could be a bad thing unless you're talking about relationships with family.
Ooh.
But, yeah, so 100% done dirty by the Cardinals. No chance for success there. Unceremoniously booted to Miami, who also stunk at the time. Devontae Parker was in and out of the lineup with injuries. He was the only receiver they had. The other receivers they did have couldn't catch. Like, if you go back and watch him in Miami, yeah, he made some mistakes, but he was also hitting dudes in the hands 40 yards downfield, and they just refused to catch it. Yeah,
Tampa Bay was an opportunity, but just, I mean, you're not really going to start over Josh Rosen. I mean, you're not going to start over Tom Brady.
Correct. So he got beat out. And then, I mean, yeah. He got beat up by Fitz in Miami, who also beat out Tua, who was a top 5 pick last year. So if we're comparing him to that standard, it's not like he was that bad. I mean, it happened to Tua too. And Tua, people talked about since he was a freshman, being one of. Well, I mean, in my opinion, Tua is a little overrated, but that's for another time. But if you want to compare that in those situations, like Tua also got benched for Ryan Fitzpatrick. So
it's the magic, baby. Oh, Fitzmagic.
Yeah. Let's see if the magic continues to roll this year. But anyway, I think Rosen, if he was put in a normal football
situation,
team,
a normal situation where he can actually thrive to play like that, like this is the thing. He's the first. Like he was drafted over Lamar Jackson. Like, and he never had a team to believe in him. And the thing is, like, if you get bounced around a couple times, then everyone's already looking at the next draft class for quarterbacks. Like, no one's looking at free agency like that to get their franchise guy. unfortunately. And so he still has a chance to be kind of like a Tyrod Taylor who was a backup for Joe Flacco for a couple years, and he played pretty well in preseason, which Rosen hasn't had a lot of preseason games, but he can play really well in the preseason. And then he got opportunity in Buffalo when he became the starter, which that was my favorite thing. I love when you see like a guy compete for a starting job and then a guy you don't expect to win wins. That's like one of my favorite things. And when Tyrod Taylor became like the starting quarterback in Buffalo, I was so ecstatic because like you never see that, especially black quarterbacks. It was not a lot, in the league at that time when he was starting in Buffalo.
Especially in Buffalo.
Especially, yeah. But, I just love that. And maybe, I don't know, man. Like, a good situation for Josh Rosen. Because, obviously he was in 49ers, and that's not going to be a good situation. So, right now, the 49ers have like 4 quarterbacks on the roster. They have Josh Johnson. They have Jimmy Garoppolo. They have him. Rosen. And then they just signed somebody else. They just signed what's his name? I forget. Well, CJ Beathard signed with the Jags or the Miami Dolphins.
Stinks.
But they have like 4 quarterbacks on the roster before they're about to draft Mac Jones at number 3.
It might be Justin Fields.
We'll see. They're drafting a quarterback for sure.
Let's see. They only have 2 listed on. No, I lied. Oh, they signed your boy, Nate Studfeld.
That's right. Yeah. So it's like they just signed him, Josh Johnson, which he's probably going to get cut. Does Josh Rosen get cut too? Like, how many quarterbacks do they keep? I think they're known to keep 3 because, injuries. You got Jimmy G, of course. So, Rosen, like, honestly, if they do decide to keep Rosen, it could be a good situation because especially if whoever said quarterback is not ready and they don't want to play right away, Jimmy Garoppolo goes down week 2. Josh Rosen's been in the system for a little bit longer now.
I think Jimmy G's getting traded. Once they take a quarterback at 3, whether it's Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones. I hope it's Mac Jones. That would be hilarious. But Jimmy G's got to get traded.
I don't think he does. Because I think what they want to do is they want to kind of have that – I don't think he gets – okay. I don't think he gets traded this season. I think – does he only have 1 year left on his deal? Or 2?
Let me find out.
But I think
because they gave up so many picks to move up to 3. I think Jimmy G gets traded either for a player or for another pick to kind of recoup those trades. He's got 2 more years.
I think it's hard right now because I think you can, if you let him play and build up his trade value, then you can get more in return later, right? And then
they can also save $24 million in cap space by cutting or trading him.
But they're not hurt for cap.
I think they are. They're up. I'm pretty sure they're up against the cap. Let's see. Spot track. Don't let me down.
What I was trying to say is I think they want to have an Alex Smith type year with Jimmy Garoppolo and have whoever the quarterback is going to be develop for a year, kind of like Patrick Mahomes, and then get rid of him next year. Because that way he can prove himself to be a healthy quarterback, build up his trade value, then you can get more in return next offseason. And then you still have and I think that's the best case scenario for the 49ers, what they try to do.
I disagree. You don't give up 3 first-round picks for a guy who is not going to help you win this year.
I don't know. You got 2 viable guys. What Kyle Shanahan said.
How old is Trent Williams? He's 35?
Something like that. 34, maybe?
He's up there. Like their Super Bowl window is now. They still got a lot of young guys they don't have to pay yet, like Fred Warner, Bosa, Nick Bosa.
But that's the thing, though. They think they can win with Jimmy G when he's healthy, and like you can have both.
They
You
can't,
want the insurance, like you want that insurance policy. Like the more like viable starting quarterback options you have, like because I mean, if Jimmy G stays healthy, like last time he stayed healthy for a full season, he got you to the Super Bowl. So if you can replicate that and then still develop a quarterback for your future, I mean that's not a bad deal.
Jimmy G also cost them in the Super Bowl by airmailing that last throw to Emmanuel Sanders. So, I mean, I don't think Jimmy G's ever going to win a Super Bowl. If he does, they win it this year. Egg on my face. I'll take it. But I don't see Jimmy G ever winning a Super Bowl as the primary starter. As the primary starter.
I don't know, man. I think Jimmy G is good, but his injuries have been what's derailed his like stock. Like he was hot. I mean, when he first came to, he was 5-0.
I think he's average. I think of him like the same way I think of Teddy Bridgewater. Like they can win you games as long as they aren't the ones who have to win the games. Like if you can give them open throws, you can scheme open players, they can make those. They can make it happen. But if they have to make it happen themselves, you're in trouble.
I think he's a little bit better than average, but not far from average. But I don't know, man. I think the 49ers could do that and just be smart with their future. You know what I mean? Like if they don't want to, like that's the thing. Like, all right, how about this, right? So if it wasn't predetermined that they're going to, people say they're going to go for Mac Jones, right? Say they go Trey Lance at 3, right? A lot of people say Trey Lance might need to sit for a while. Then do you see, okay, if you think Trey Lance is not ready right now, but you know he's going to be the future, I mean, keeping Jimmy G for a year so he can develop, that's a smart idea. You know what I'm saying? But versus if you kind of get like, I mean, Justin feels a little bit more ready to go. But like, you know what I mean? Like a guy who's like, who knows has that promise, but, you know, you wouldn't mind having him sit for a redshirt year in the NFL.
I don't think you can use 3 first-round picks on a guy who is not ready to play and help you win this season. Like if you're saying they're gonna sit him and have him ready to play in the future, they don't have reinforcements coming in the future. They don't have their next couple first-round picks. So they made this trade hoping to get a quarterback at 3 who can help them win a Super Bowl this year.
I don't know for sure this year, but I think it's definitely looking for the
100%.
future.
That's what it is. That's the whole allure behind Mac Jones, because Mac Jones is more pro-ready than Trey Lance and Justin Fields.
If he's the pick, yes.
Well, that's the whole reasoning behind it. Because you don't give up 3 first-round picks for a quarterback who's not ready to win this season.
But I don't know. Like, yeah, you give up that if you believe in him as he's going to be your guy. But you don't want to jeopardize him by rushing him, right? But I mean, you give up whatever if you believe in the player. You know what I'm saying? And I think being smart of not having him, you know, jump out and then get you know, start seeing ghosts after year 1 because you just jumped him out too soon. Then you're going to be like, what the, like, you know, he wasn't ready. But it's like, no, like it's also on the organization as well to protect your assets going to the future as well. So it goes both ways.
Kurt, I'm not saying Jimmy G's traded before the end of the season or before the start of the season, but he is traded this season. Like trade deadline, you start him like 4 to 5 games, bring a rookie along slowly, that's whatever. But then come trade deadline, they're like, yeah, we don't have a first-round pick next year. Maybe we can get a second for Jimmy G, or we can trade our second and Jimmy G for a first. They 100% are doing that.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying he's not getting traded. I think he's definitely getting traded, but you want to try to bring up his his trade value a little bit because you're not going to get as much right now because he's a guy,
he
a quarterback.
stinks.
Yeah, he's been hurt. Like, you want to see him healthy or moving around on his knee or whatever ankle. He still can to sling it, which I think I just think if anything, he starts for like anywhere from 4 to 8 games, sits, bench, and then traded in the offseason. I don't think he's getting traded this season, but he'll be traded all season. He'll build up his trade value enough to get you a solid second, and then off to the races.
I don't know. It depends on how my boy Josh Rosen does. If they think Josh Rosen can be that vet who can kind of start some games, take some pressure off a rookie, Jimmy G could be gone this season.
We'll see.
But speaking of Josh Rosen, how much would it have cost the Panthers to sign him or trade for him?
I mean, I don't think you have anything to trade for. I think honestly he gets released. It's just a crowded backfield. Like,
I don't think he's getting released. Josh Johnson probably gets released.
Oh, 1,000%. But they just saying Nate Sudfeld, which he could get released too.
Correct.
I don't know. It's a weird situation. They just stockpiling quarterbacks.
Which, the Panthers should be doing too. Like, we have Teddy right now. He's getting traded or cut 100%. We have Sam Darnold, who we just gave up 3 picks for, including a 2nd-round pick. We have XFL MVP PJ Walker. Mm-hmm. And we have a wasted draft pick. I guess you could say that. Will Greer, who stinks.
Maybe, preseason get opportunity to shine and get some value out of him. Will Greer could be an XFL legend, man.
I don't know if he could. He kind of stinks.
In the NFL. But the XFL.
Or he stunk at Florida.
Yeah, but then when he went to West Virginia, though, you see? Lesser talent.
I guess.
But let's move on to our new segment. And our first new segment that we got, it's called Locked and Loaded. Let's do it, baby. So, Locked and Loaded. What is this segment, right? Cool video, but what the heck are we talking about? So, we're talking about NFL draft prospects, and we're going to the running back room. Locked and Loaded. It is your guy that you are ready to pull the trigger on, and he is going first. He's like my top pick at running back. This is who I'm going with. Who did I say was going first? Me or you?
I can go first.
Go first, Jonathan. Who is your locked and loaded player that you're ready to pull the trigger on right now?
All right, my locked and loaded guy, the guy I want on my team. If I had my first running back, I would take Travis Etienne of Clemson. Obviously, the speed is insane, but this year and 2019 a little bit also, but more so in 2020. He showed off his hands. He's become a much better pass catcher. So when you add in his speed, his balance, his ability to catch the ball, kind of reminds you of an Alvin Kamara type player. I've seen Jamal Charles comps. Anytime you can get a guy who's a home run threat on the ground and through the air, a guy who can catch the ball, make big plays in space, you can move around in the backfield, in the slot, you can throw him a little swing pass, screens, all that. That is a guy I want on my team. He is a home run hitter. big time speed.
Okay, I like it.
Um, I might be a homer for that. I'm a Clemson fan, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Okay. So my locked
I'm
and
locked
loaded.
and loaded, and I'm taking my shot.
Oh, dialed in. So my locked and loaded player that I have for the running back room is going to be Najee Harris, of course. And for me, a guys that I just love gamers, right? I just love a guy that he's going to go as the game goes and just keeps getting better and better and better, right? And Najee Harris is that guy at Clemson. I mean, excuse me, at Alabama. And he had to battle a lot of good talent at Alabama is like since his freshman year. I mean, he had guys like I don't think Derrick Henry was there when he was a freshman. Maybe was he a redshirt junior or
His freshman year might have been Derrick Henry's year. Let me check.
But I mean, you got guys. I mean, most recent guys that just came out.
Damian Harris.
Damian Harris. Damn, why am I blanking on Alabama running backs? I'm thinking of like older guys.
Oh, Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs. Bo
Scarborough.
I mean, he had a lot of talent he had to really kind of beat out and really practice with and kind of earn his stripes, And then as he started to get more reps, he gotten better. He's battle tested, playing against top talent in practice every week. A guy who can catch the ball out the backfield, but also can run between the tackles, and he's a gamer. And he gets better throughout the game, and I like running backs like that because you know that you can depend on them, especially when the passing game is not going and you need a good big play. You need to get a key first down, and those are guys I really like to have on my team. And I'm locked and loaded with Najee Harris, and I think a good fit for Najee Harris will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it makes the most sense. They need a back, but they also need offensive line help. So it's kind of tough, it's kind of tough to see where he goes. But I'm locked and loaded for Najee Harris. So the second part of this is you better call, right? So you got your top guy, like obviously he's ready to go. But hey, this guy's pretty awesome, and you better call. Listen, let me tell you. This running back I am so high on. Like I want to see him reunited in Washington with this fellow Memphis buddy, AG, Antonio Gibson. And I'm talking about Kenneth Gainwell. This running back is explosive. He's dynamic. Home run hitter, as Jonathan liked to say. He's great. And I think he's one of those backs to where you can find him in the later rounds, preferably like third round, maybe second, third, fourth round. Between that range, you never know depending on how the draft flow goes. But it can be a steal. Into the right system where he can be used as like a third down back. He can be explosive, get the ball in his hands. I believe he even returned some kicks, if I'm not mistaken, at Memphis. But I mean, him and like Antonio Gibson had a dynamic year. Who was a home run hitter himself, played wide receiver mostly, wide receiver and running back. Just a dual threat of an X factor guy. Him and Kenneth Gainwell were on the same squad in Memphis a couple years ago. I mean, that's insane, and we can have it all in Washington. Imagine all these playmakers we can have in that backfield that you don't know if they're going to get the ball handed to them or line up in the slot. Jet sweeps both directions, triple option. I mean, that is kind of my wet dream that I have every night, thinking about what could happen if Kenneth Gainwell were to sign with Washington this season or get drafted by us, because that's what I need. I need that. Oh, yo,
those
hit 30. because my order just got executed.
It's at 31 right now. Shit.
Guys, you see this turbulence right here? This turbulence that I'm feeling is me taking off to the moon. You love to see it. You love to see it. And you love to see Kenneth Gainwell getting drafted, preferably in the 3rd round by the Washington football team, soon to be the Washington Red Wolves, soon to be the Capital City Football Club. I don't know. Something like that. But yeah, I would love to see that dynamic duo back together. I mean, that offense would just be insane. Fitzpatrick and Kellen Mond will have a crazy, third round picks we've been able to hit constantly this past couple years. We are magic in the 3rd round. And let's make magic again getting Kenneth Gainwell. But
who was your 3rd round pick last year?
Antonio Gibson.
Oh, that's right.
I think who our 3rd round pick
for some reason.
No. You know who our 3rd round was the year before that?
No.
Terry McLaurin.
I thought he was a 5th round pick for some reason. I thought he went later than that.
He would have got him the 3rd. Okay, we got him, and then we got Cam Sims. No, not Cam Sims. We got AGG in the 4th round last year. And I think we got Wes Martin. I'm mixing draft classes. Terry went in the 80s, though. I know for sure he went in the 80s. Yeah, 3rd round, 2019. Pick 76, actually. Excuse me, just before the 80s. I mean, great picks. Great picks in the 3rd round. You got to love it.
Yeah, not bad.
3rd time's the charm, right? I mean, we haven't had 2nd round picks, and 2nd round is our worst round. We haven't had any much 2nd round success lately. Ryan Anderson and Darius Geis. If you were trying to think who our most recent 2nd round picks are.
At least one of them was good on the field. It was just the one who sucked off the field.
True.
Panthers' last couple 2nd round picks actually have been pretty good.
You got Chin in the 2nd round?
Yep. You got Chin and Yetur Gross-Matos in the 2nd round this year. Last year was... Oh, I can't even remember right now. I know
that was Jeremy Chin.
1st round. No, that was this past draft. I'm talking about the year before that now.
Oh, okay.
Those were both in the 2nd round this past year.
Gotcha.
We traded back into the end of the 2nd for Jeremy Chin. So 2 this past year. The year before that. Oh, Greg Little.
From UNC?
No. Ole Miss, left tackle.
Oh, okay.
Hasn't been very good. Mostly because he hasn't been healthy. But before that, we got Dante Jackson, Taylor Moton. You want to go back to like 2015, James Bradbury. So we've been pretty good in the 2nd round the last couple of years.
Which I feel like you should. I feel like 2nd round, you should get a good player in the 2nd round.
First time you gotta nail your 1st and 2nd round players.
For sure. But that's hard.
That's not that hard. Luckily for you, that's like the one thing Marty Herney does is nail his 1st round picks.
I don't care about the 1st round guys. I care about the depth guys. I care about the 7th round guys. I care about the 6th round guys. I care about the 5th round guys. And you know who does that phenomenally?
I care about the undrafted free agents.
Exactly. Shout out to my guy Cam Sims. What? Danny Johnson still on the team making moves at special teams. Come on, son.
Tamarick Hemingway?
Oh, okay.
Panthers legend?
Soon to be Washington football team legend? I care about the guys who are going to be pathway guys. I'm talking about
F.A. Obata?
No, I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about Samus. What's his last name?
Sammy Reyes?
Sammy Reyes. There you go.
I don't know if
Soon
it's
to
Sammy
be,
or Samus.
I think it's Samus. It's like Samus.
It's definitely spelled Samus, but the S could be silent. I don't know why it would be silent.
He said it, but
be.
he said it. I remember hearing him say it, but he said it so fast. So it's just like, well.
Samis, maybe? Samis Reyes? I don't know.
Phenomenal athlete.
Sam Reyes.
Great size. He's a double. He was almost a double major with business and finance, but he ran out of time to get. He only needed like a couple more credits to get a double degree in finance and business. Very smart guy. He's going to be studying his playbook. This man has only played football for 10 months. No, not even. 10 weeks. Sheesh.
He's also already 25, so he got a big learning curve ahead of him.
Hey, man.
And they say it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks.
But if you're hungry enough.
If you're hungry enough, yeah. Plus, he's got Logan Thomas on the depth chart with him, who made that switch from quarterback to tight end around the same age. Actually, Logan Thomas might have been older. He might have been like, how old is he now? 29?
29, I think. He made the switch, I think he was like 26.
26, 27, I think.
Because he was pretty late. Because, I don't even think he got drafted as a quarterback, did he?
He did.
He did?
Yeah.
Sure. It could happen. It could happen.
Because I don't think he made the switch until he was with the Lions, right?
Don't get me started on his history. I just know that he's phenomenal for Washington, and that's all I care about. I don't look at his past. I don't talk about your exes like that. I'm talking about our now. That's all I care about.
Fair.
But who you calling, Jonathan, for your running back prospect?
Well, you took mine.
No. You tried to take mine. I've been on Kenneth.
I'm the one who put you on.
Bro, no.
You out here capping.
I was like, yo, who's that guy? Because when we started doing mocks, I started watching his film, and I'm like, yo, Kenneth Gainwell, this dude's kind of nice. And then I remember him with AG because I was seeing AG highlights. But anyways, that's my guy.
But anyway, since you took my guy, I'm gonna have to go with a super deep sleeper.
Oh, sleeper agent?
I hope not. But I'm gonna go ahead and have a little callback to our first segment. Bring it to the table. Last chance you.
Okay.
Rakeem Boyd.
Oh,
Arkansas.
Oh, he was with Jason Brown's team, right?
No, he was with Buddy.
Buddy?
Yeah.
Dang, how many?
Season 2, I believe.
And he's just now getting to the league?
Yeah.
Hey, how many years he had?
3 years. 3 years at Arkansas.
Okay, that's not bad. He probably he probably got like a gray shirt or some shit, so he can get a couple more years. Oh yeah, plus 2020 didn't count, but he did not because he finished 2020 was his last year.
Yeah, so 3 years at Arkansas, 2,100 yards, only 13 touchdowns, so not the greatest. But he only played 6 games this year. He didn't play a full slate. I don't know if he opted out or what, but 2019 season is the one I want to focus on. 180 carries, 1,133 yards for an average of 6.2 yards per carries, 8 touchdowns, and 160 yards receiving on 19 receptions for an average of 8.4 yards per carry. So almost 1,300 yards from scrimmage, 8 touchdowns. He's got good size. I think he's 6 foot, like 210-ish pounds. Um, runs with power for his size. Not the fastest, but he's not slow either. He's got decent speed. Not a home run hitter like Travis Etienne, but kind of like a Najee Harris. He can kind of do it all. Got good power, good vision, good size, decent hands. I don't think his hands are as good as Najee's, but they're decent. They get the job done. He's not going to have stone hands out there for you in the flat. He's the guy you could probably get like round 6, round 7, maybe as an undrafted free agent. I think he should definitely be drafted, but the league doesn't seem to value running backs, so maybe he goes undrafted.
He seems like a Kyle Shanahan guy.
He could be. They got plenty of backs already, though.
But they love him. They love backs and quarterbacks.
They do.
Running backs and quarterbacks, yeah.
But he's a guy who can be added late in the draft, day 3, who can have an impact on your team in a committee. I don't think he's ever going to be a workhorse lead back. But, he can definitely factor into that running back rotation. So that's solid production, in my opinion, from a late round pick. So that's my guy, Rakeem Boyd, throwing it back, EMCC, Last Chance U, Arkansas, NFL.
And maybe his last chance is not in, I don't know where I was going with that. I was trying to find a cool way to wrap it up in a nice bow.
He made the most of his last chance.
There we go. Exactly. And he will have another chance to make some money.
Yes.
So, now, Jonathan, this is our last chance to say something to the people because we are wrapping up this episode on this chill Thursday night, just the two of us. Anything else that you want to add? This has been a great show. I would love XFL. Listen, we're going to tag you. Hey, great idea. Just drop the bag, and we'll give you the rights to it. Drop the bag. You know what I'm saying? We got some ideas. XFL, come hit us up.
For sure.
We'll do some pre-shows for the XFL. I'm down for that. Post shows. In-depth analysis.
Get some of that. Was it Terramana in us?
Yeah. I'm trying to get some little Terramana. Ooh, a Terramana halftime show. You know what I'm saying? Terramana post game. I like that. Look at this. I'm giving you these ideas. We sipping some Terramana toast, and we'll just sip it with the game player of the game. Each person who was player of the game gets a bottle of Terramana tequila. Come on now. Come on, XFL, stop playing with me.
You giving it away too soon.
Hey,
you gotta give us the bag ideas first.
That's true. You're right. My bad. Hey, XFL, hit us up. We got you. If you need ideas, look. Wait. But for a Fido. But yeah, this is great. Great episode. Will we get more into some draft talk as draft season is right around the corner? I think we're a week away.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks away. So it's coming up very quick. We're excited.
Is it next week?
It's the 29th. It's the last week of April.
2 weeks, yeah.
So we got 2 more weeks left. But yeah, if you like what we do here, if you fucking with us, we hope you do. Go ahead and follow us on TikTok.
And even if you don't, go ahead and follow us.
It's free.
What's it gonna hurt?
Nothing. Tell a friend. Hey, I hate this sports show on Twitch.
You should check it out.
You should check it out and tell me what you think. Go ahead. And then follow too, because it costs nothing. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter. We got some scoops on there. We talk about some stuff on Twitch right here on Twitch. Hate to pile on. Come follow us. YouTube. If you're not watching it live, watch it on YouTube. Throw the numbers up. Run the numbers up, baby. Run the score up. And then,
Run it up, run it up.
And, if you liking this chunky boy shirt that he's rocking, that beautiful pink shirt with that chunky boy on there, and then the chunky boy behind the chunky boy.
Yes.
Come fuck with us. Tell us your sizes. Tell us what you want. We'll send it to you.
Tell us what colors you like.
But for a fee. Well, we love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, for watching this episode. More coming soon. If you didn't notice, we're going to be doing Thursdays for a little bit. Who knows? We'll let you know when the show's coming out. We'll let you know. We might spring up on you on the weekend. Who knows?
Maybe this Saturday, potentially.
Maybe.
We got a lot of top fives in the draft to get through before next Thursday.
Very true.
We only hit, 2 position groups so far?
Yeah, front sevens and second. We hit the whole defenses. Oh, not even. Yeah. We hit the defensive side.
No, for the draft.
For the draft? Running backs. That's it.
We did. Oh, that's right. We didn't do one last week because Kyle wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, we skipped it. We skipped the quarterbacks. We can have a whole quarterback session. We can talk some quarterbacks.
We can hit quarterbacks on Saturday, maybe.
Possibly.
We might have to double and triple down because we got to get how many positions we got. Let's see.
Quarterbacks. You got wide receivers, tight ends.
Quarterbacks. We got
offensive line.
So quarterbacks, wide receivers, tight ends, offensive tackle, interior offensive line. That's 5. Safeties, linebackers, corners, interior defensive linemen, edge rushers. That's 10 position groups we got to get through. Sheesh. Real quick.
Yes.
You want to go through our top 5 pass catching cores for the NFL since we kind of been slipping on those?
Top 5 pass catching cores?
Yes.
We can just, super quick.
So wide receivers and tight ends, we're going to go pretty quick. But, we've been trying to wrap up our recaps of last season. And we took a little break in February into March. And it lasted a little bit longer than we expected. So now we kind of playing catch up. So
no mustard.
Correct. So our recap from last year kind of bleeding into our draft coverage this year. So we got to double up a little bit. So we did our top 5 running backs for the NFL draft. Did we do our top 5s?
For running backs?
No, we just said you better call and you're locked and loaded.
Yeah, we just did that for the draft coverage.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and give my top 5 real quick. All right. My top 5 running backs in the NFL 2021 NFL draft. Travis Etienne, Clemson. Speed. Hands. Speed. More speed. That boy good. Running back 2. Najee Harris. Good speed. Well, decent speed. Good power. Good vision. Good hands. Good running back. Running back 3. Javonte Williams of North Carolina. Physical. This dude broke an insane amount of tackles this year. Runs hard. Got decent speed. He ain't Travis Etienne though, but he also runs over more people than Travis Etienne. And he can catch a little bit, but he ceded most of the pass catching work on North Carolina to his running back teammate, Michael Carter, also of North Carolina, who is my number 4 running back for the 2021 NFL draft. Explosive, really good hands, pass catcher, third down, change of pace back. But he can run between the tackles a little bit too. Pretty underrated. And number 5, we already talked about it. CJ stole him earlier for You Better Call. Kenneth Gainwell, Memphis, my running back 5. Um, Speed, versatility. He can catch. He can play a little slot receiver, maybe. He could play that Curtis Samuel role for how the Panthers used him in this year. Where you just move him all over the field. Sweeps, jet sweeps, hand the ball off to him, put him in the slot. He can do it all.
And he can do it all in Washington. Imagine all these weapons who can do it all, and you don't know where anybody's going to line up and what they're going to do. How dangerous is that?
Pretty dangerous.
Pretty dangerous. Just like Baker Mayfield. I woke up feeling dangerous.
That dude stinks.
But he lives on the dangerous side.
He does. But anyway, that's top 5 running backs for the NFL draft. Now you want to go to top 5 pass catching cores in the NFL from the 2020 season?
Yeah, I can do that.
Or you want me to go first?
No, I got my list right here.
All right.
So top 5 passing cores, wide receivers, and tight ends. Number 5. This is tough. There's a lot of really good teams with the good weapons. Number 5, I'm going with Dallas, which I hate to say. But Dallas has a crazy core. Their tight end position is not as strong, but I think their wide receiver position carries them carries them more. But they get a little bit of production from what is his name? It starts with an S. Schultz. There he goes. He was a decent production. Tight end position historically for Dallas has typically been their kind of a strong suit for a long, long time until Jason Witten really fell off a cliff. But now a
decent suit. All right, let's not give this man any more hype than he deserves.
But he was that guy, and he was always a terror on third downs. I know. I faced him twice a year. Number 4, I have Buffalo Bills. Nobody is circling the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Huge addition with Stephon Diggs, with Cole Beasley and John Brown. And then they had Tyler Kroft and who's the other tight end that he had?
Dalton something?
Something like that.
He went to Ole Miss with A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, and all them boys.
A pretty good core to help bolster and continue
Gabriel
growth.
Davis.
Yes,
the
Gabriel
rookie
Davis.
Wide receiver.
They have a lot of really good guys that kind of helped with Josh Allen keep bolstering and having an MVP caliber season last year, and which was very pivotal. And I think they're in my number 4 spot. Number 3, 4 and 3 could have swapped for me, but number 3 I have Seattle Seahawks with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. Excuse me. Wait, who is their tight end?
Greg Olsen.
Oh, damn, I figured Greg Olsen is still there, yeah. I don't know why I was thinking Jimmy Graham.
He's retired now.
Did he?
Greg Olsen did. Jimmy Graham's still alive and collecting bags.
Well, yeah, Greg Olsen, Panthers great, Prentice legend, and the Giants for a little bit. No, that's Jeremy Shockey.
Bears,
yeah. Very strong 1-2 punch. Of course, we got Russ cooking. Pretty good team. Kansas City Chiefs, 1 and 2 is very hard. 1 and 2 is very debatable to who you favor more. And because of the Super Bowl, I gave Kansas City Chiefs the number 2 spot. Obviously with Tyreek Hill, you got Travis Kelce, you have Sammy Watkins, you got Mecole Hardman. I think I got everybody. There's probably more guys that I'm missing. They just have so many weapons. And obviously when you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, it helps, and they keep bolstering so much talent. and adding so much talent to that core, it's really insane. And number one, of course, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who added every weapon underneath the sun to make sure that Tom Brady received the Super Bowl ring, and he did. He had, you already had, your top guy. Why am I blanking?
Top two, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Then you had Rob Gronkowski. Then you had Cameron Brate, O.J. Howard.
O.J. Howard missed most of the season.
Yes. Antonio Brown.
Scotty Miller.
That's what I was. Thank you. Scotty Miller and someone else.
Tyler Johnson, the rookie.
I guess so. But just a dynamic core. Did the job done. They really kind of passed the buck. Either guys getting the rock this week to really kind of help them push them over the edge to win the championship. And was your tight end, your Rob Gronkowski, who had 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl to help win it for them. And that was my number one pass catching core in the NFL this past season.
All right, we basically had the same. I flipped Kansas City and Tampa Bay. Kansas City was 1 for me. Obviously, you got Tyreek Hill, the premier deep threat in the NFL. Travis Kelce, the number 1 tight end mismatch in the league. And then you got guys like Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson.
That's what I was thinking. I couldn't remember his
Byron
name.
Pringle.
Oh, yeah. Stinks. That's number 13, right?
Yes. But yeah, a lot of talent there. On Tampa Bay, also, they're my number 2. Obviously, we said Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski. You might have heard of him. Tom Brady certainly has. Antonio Brown, who, in my opinion, was the best wide receiver of the 2010s. That might be problematic. Deal with it. I'm right. Then you got Cam Brate, Scotty Miller, Justin Watson, Tyler Johnson. I think that's pretty much everybody. But a lot of depth there, a lot of high-end talent. And they got Tom Brady throwing to them. So a lot of talent there. Number 3 for me was Dallas, who I think was number 5 for you, CJ. Obviously, you got Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, and then, as I said, the tight ends, they suffered some injuries there, but Dalton Schultz put up some decent numbers there. But really the top 3 wide receivers are the strength of that group. Number 4 for me was the Buffalo Bills. Stephon Diggs was a top 3 receiver at worst in the NFL this year. You got John Brown, Cole Beasley, Gabriel Davis. I feel like I'm missing more. But really, they just belong in the top 5 off the strength of Stephon Diggs and John Brown duo. Really underrated.
Cole Beasley, that's not Cole Beasley in the slot. Number 1 slot receiver last year.
I know he's good too. I'm saying they would have been in my top 5 even without Cole Beasley. But they would have been 5. Cole Beasley bumped him up to 4. Number 5 for me was tough. I thought about the Titans. You got Corey Davis, you got Johnny Smith, you got obviously AJ Brown. Minnesota, you got Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Kyle Rudolph, Irv Smith. The Chargers, Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry, Mike Williams. Seattle, who you had for number 4, I think. But the problem with Seattle for me was really they only have a dynamic duo, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And the Panthers were actually really close for me too. The problem was, again, it was just the strength of their trio. Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel. And I also didn't want to seem like too much of a homer for putting them in my top five. But, they're right on that cusp. Those three, but we really had no production from tight ends this year, which was unfortunate. So number 5 for me is the LA Rams. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Gerald Everett, Tyler Higbee, Van Jefferson. What's his name? I'm blanking on it right now. He left the free agency, but they got another dude who's been there.
Wide receiver?
Yeah.
Reynolds?
Yes, Josh Reynolds. Thank you. Yeah, so really underrated, but I mean, they took Jared Goff to a Super Bowl a couple years back, so they got some talent there. But yeah, I think that's the best. They played really well as a collective. Not really any one superstar there, but just a lot of guys who can be productive week in and week out.
Worked very hard.
Yes. So they're my number 5 pass catching core in the NFL for 2020. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
We'll do another CJ.
I think I'm good. We'll definitely cut this up, and you can get straight to just our top 5s. What you think? We'll definitely try to purge out some more of our list, and we'll try to make them in short form for you guys so you can hear the good juicy stuff as well. Yeah, we'll get it done. We'll get it done before the draft, and then we can, after the draft, we can just talk and about, man, what direction is my team going? Because we're getting closer and closer to training camp, and it's a lot. It's a lot that we have to talk about and discuss. But we'll try to pick it up again shortly, soon. A little talk. You know what I'm saying? So
for sure.
Yeah. That's everything for tonight. It's getting late. Yeah, boy needs to get some beauty sleep. So, but thank you again for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. Be sure to follow for more awesome goodness. I've been CJ. This has been the number 1 chunky boy, Jonathan. And you should do us a favor and have a good night. Peace out.
See you later.